need to get into people talking about V and his body part, specifically a private one. We also have a lawsuit that is pending recently, and the entire K-pop industry is reeling from this. And then we have Jin and his concert. So, hey Dumplings, it's Dave Disci. Let's get into it. So if you're not aware, Bang Chan is recently in a lawsuit over something that is definitely a really big deal. He has been seen trying to sue for deep fakes that have involved him and potentially his other members, but I think this lawsuit is mostly just for him that he's suing for. It's alleged that 2 users from X or Twitter decided to create these deep fakes, having Bang do really inappropriate things. Not only sexually, but also saying inappropriate things. I believe I heard somewhere things that were racist, but this wasn't specifically in the court documents. This is just what people were saying about it. Obviously, since it's a court case and there are legal proceedings and stuff like that, I doubt these clips are made publicly available, like the deep fakes, nor should they be, nor do I really want to spend time trying to figure out where the deepfakes are and watch those clips, because I'm sure it's going to be unsettling and weird. During the court case, Bang talked about how he was deeply unsettled to see this, and it caused him a lot of distress. This is definitely going to cause a little bit of a shock and shockwaves throughout the community, as a lot of the K-pop idols are scared to do stuff like this, and there's no particular reason why they should be scared, because no real fan is going to make their celebrity say really disturbing things, because that's only done with the intent of trying to make them look like a bad person. It's only done with the intent of having it trend and having people believe that the particular K-pop idol is racist or whatever. And of course, the lawsuit was pretty much the only way at this point to clear his name, because just saying, oh, I never said it, it was a deep fake, wouldn't exactly hold a lot of weight. But of course, as things get a little bit more advanced and as AI starts to become even more integrated into our everyday lives, we're going to start to see more of these things happen, and there needs to be a clear line drawn in the sand on how this software or this type of new technology can be used. And it definitely should not be used in this way. This is not only scary if you're a K-pop star, but this is scary if you're just an everyday person who works at a corporation and someone hates you. They could hate anyone, but let's say they hate you and they decide to create an AI video of you saying horrible things to try to get you fired, and you do. If Bang wins this case, which I think he will, and he will have a high chance of winning, this will set a precedent, of course, not only in K-pop but throughout the world, that you obviously can't use AI in this way. I don't know if there are specific laws yet for that, and to stop usage of AI in this way, not just sexual or someone creating sexual content, but content that is meant to be shocking or making you say racist things. So this will be interesting. This will be one of the first few lawsuits that will occur post when AI has been integrated into the world. It's also about time that artists start sticking it for themselves, and if there is something that's going to get them in trouble, they should 100% stick up for themselves and do something about it. So I'm very curious to see how that goes. And of course, I'll be here to update you on any updates on that in the near future. People have also been very stressed or concerned over Jin and his recent concert. By the time you're watching this, it'll likely be the weekend already, and this is believed to be Jin having his encore concert, and people were definitely very concerned to see the amount of seats that were still available at his concert. It was believed that it was announced just a few weeks ago, and pre-order was only available for about a week. And people were looking at the stadium seats and seeing that it looked like on the second or third floor, it was all still available mostly. But it was believed that the ground floor was completely sold out. The venue is believed to be able to hold 70,000 people. And of course, if this was BTS as a group, I'm sure they would have been able to sell out that number of seats in 3 seconds, if that. But you have to understand that this concert kind of came out of nowhere. And most people who wanted to see Jin had probably already bought tickets the first time he did a little bit of a thing, or some sort of meet and greet thing, and got tickets for that right after the military. This concert that he's doing now, or show, was not promoted in any way that I felt like was a proper promotion. Prior to his previous release and his previous shows, he did do a lot of press prior to that. So he went on talk shows, he did a bunch of those things, and within those things, he did talk about a tour, or he did talk about releasing music. So at the very least, it brought a lot of people to his show. But this time it was different, because I don't believe he did much promo for this show. And in fact, I I think most people in the community were not talking about it. It really wasn't widely discussed at all prior to this coming out and this headline of the tickets not selling. So I think there were a lot of things that went into this, and there's a lot of people right now that are shaming him for not selling out the tickets. But a lot of that wasn't his choice, nor is it really that big of a deal that he didn't really sell out this show. This whole thing when he came back from the military, such as doing any shows, doing a meet and greet, and any of that stuff, that whole point of it was not to sell it all out, but just to say hi to people that have remained with him and that have loved him. So he wants to just give back to those people specifically. When he did this meet and greet, he offered to give everyone a hug. Of course, everyone took that, and I'm sure he ended up hugging about 1,000 people that night. That, of course, is going to make you feel a little bit sore. I'm sure he felt sore. It also gives the fans uncomfortably close access to you. And so all of this from the beginning has been about giving back. It's been less about even his own safety, let alone selling things out or making money. That's not the intention here. So I think people have gotten it wrong, where they think that every time a release happens, every time something happens, it has to be this huge, big moment, when that's not really even something that he might want, nor was he trying to make that happen. Maybe. And yes, we do need to respect that, because this is what he wants to do. And if he doesn't care about selling things, let's just say, we should not then shame him for it or create this stigma that he's doing poorly or he's failing because he's not selling it out. Sometimes an artist just wants to be casual and just wants something to be casual. This shaming ensures that it can never be something that is just casual and just for the fans, because they have to worry about how their brand is going to look or be perceived now, because when people think he's flopping, people are not going to be as excited to see a show. And of course, I'm not talking about real fans, but I'm talking about maybe more of the general or casual fans that could be buying tickets or whatever. They might think, well, he's not relevant anymore. Why would I want to go see a show of his? But that's not the truth here. V has been trending within the last 24 hours, and it's something that you might not expect. It's his crotch. There's been conversations about if he wears underwear, specifically zooming in on his crotch shots, where you can see a lot more than maybe a lot of people want to see. There's been this debate about what type of underwear he was wearing, specifically that he must be wearing really loose boxers because you can see everything, with a lot of people talking about how V has a skin condition which makes him really itchy and he breaks out and hives all the time. I have a very similar condition to him, and thus I understand why he wears loose clothes all the time, to remain cool and to make it be breezy so his skin doesn't itch, and thus he doesn't wear any tight clothes that help compress or conceal things. The fact that this is a debate is a little bit weird. I'm not going to say that this is unusual or this is even something that's strange within the K-pop community to talk about, because there's definitely stranger things that have been spoken about. But I will say that this is probably an uncomfortable conversation for him. And if he were to see things like this online, I'm sure he would be a little bit uncomfortable about that. And of course, I apologize here for reiterating it, but I think it is something that we need to discuss in terms of what exactly is acceptable to talk about. And are things like this something that we should be discussing? But I was very surprised that this was something that was trending with millions or even thousands of views on each post talking about this, because what exactly is there to talk about here? If you see it, then that's something that is on you and you can do whatever you want to do with that image. I don't know, but it's definitely nothing to talk about, nor should it be something that is trending right now. I mean, that's absolutely insane behavior. People in the community often talk about shame. People in the community often talk about things that are embarrassing and how they don't want to do embarrassing things. But when it's something like this, they don't see this as embarrassing or something that they shouldn't be talking about. I mean, you can talk about this, and even if this is something that you are happy about for whatever reason, you can just be happy about it on your own. You don't need to share it, and you definitely don't need to have threads and conversations about this. I mean, that is just plain weird, I think. And again, I'm not having any issues with people just liking a picture or seeing something that they're happy with or whatever it is. I'm not shaming those people at all, but I'm talking about the fact that this does not need to be a conversation. This does not need to be trending. Like, that's weird to me. So let's not do that. Let's not have it be a thing where V or anyone on his team might see this. I'm very curious to hear what your thoughts are on all of this. Let me know what you think. Let me know your thoughts. Make sure you check out Patreon. I'll leave a link at the top of the description. Thank you so much for this lovely comment right here. Love you. Bye.